Hello, hello. Welcome to Verbling. Hi there. I'm Teacher Oakley, and for the next hour, we're going to be looking at the present continuous verb tense. As a matter of fact, for the next 3 days, we'll be looking at continuous tenses. Today, we'll look at present, tomorrow, past, the next day, future continuous verb tense. Today, however, we're going to concentrate on the present continuous. We'll look at how it is formed, and then we're going to look at various uses, and you, the students, will have a chance to form your own sentences, which I will help you with, and correct you if you have any problems. Okay, let's do it. Hello, Heidi. How are you?
Hello. Nice to see you again. Good morning for you.
Good morning. How was your weekend?
Weekend. Oh, today it's national holiday in Japan.
Again? What is the holiday today, Heidi?
Coming age day.
What's that?
For adult. Well, kids change the adult when they reach 20 years old.
Okay.
So we need to celebrate the adult. Then almost all local government holds some ceremony. Then this morning I saw a lot of girls, already adults, ladies, wearing kimono.
Okay. Are you saying that only adults should wear kimono?
Only 20 years old. Only 20 years old women. Yeah, even men wearing kimono.
Okay. All right, but okay, this is something I'm not aware of. Supposedly only adults should be wearing kimonos. Is that what I'm given to understand?
No, not all adult. 20 years old. Just 20.
Okay. Right. Oh, okay.
And
right.
when they reach 20 years old, they can get a lot of rights to vote or to gambling or many things.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Perhaps you can, when we give practice sentences, you can work this into some of your practice sentences. Okay. Let me also welcome Javier. Hi, Javier.
Hello, Oakley. How are you doing?
Mira, un perrito está aprendiendo.
I'm okay. I've got a bit of a cold, so if I sneeze or cough, I apologize in advance.
Don't worry.
Thanks, Javier. Appreciate your understanding. Also, I want to say hello to Max. Hey there, Max. What's up? How are you?
Good morning, Oakley. How's it going? I'm okay. Thanks for
How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing?
yeah. But I think
You can
said,
say, how's it going?
How's it going? It's from?
How's it going is correct. Or how are you doing? Or how is it going?
Okay. Thank you.
Speaking, by the way, today's lesson is present continuous tense. So that's a very good greeting for the day. How are you doing? Are doing. How is it going? Is going. Good one. Very appropriate. Hello, Daniel, as well. Hi, Daniel.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I am doing. Oh, there's another one. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? Okay, let's take a look at present continuous tense. Let's get to this. Okay, here we go. All right, the form is quite simple. It is the verb to be. Of course, the appropriate version of the verb, depending if you're speaking first, second, third person. I am, he, she, or it is, they, we, or you are. So, for example, you, subject noun, the verb construction, are, watching. Okay, present participle is the ing version of the main verb. We add the suffix ing to form the present participle. So there we go. You, subject noun, are watching TV, object noun, TV. You does the action. Now, in the question form, as always, we're going to take this first helper verb or auxiliary verb, no matter what it is, no matter what tense we're working with. We're going to take the first auxiliary verb and put that first in the sentence, followed by the subject noun. Are you watching? Now our present participle, and of course object noun. Are you watching TV? There you go. And finally, in the negative, you are not watching TV. Notice placement of not in. Actually, not follows this first auxiliary. The first auxiliary in multiple auxiliary verb constructions is very important because, as you can see in the question form, you have to concern yourself with moving it first. The negative form, you have to concern yourself with putting the not after the first auxiliary. So there it is in the negative. You, subject noun, and then the verb construction, and then the object noun. Now, of course, are not watching. Of course, when we're speaking, we would most likely use the contracted form, aren't. Of course, we could say your. Now, in these cases, I could contract you are to your. Now, this is not wrong. I can say you're not watching TV. That's fine. It's actually up to the speaker. It doesn't make any difference in meaning in the sentence. It's one or the other is not more or less appropriate. They're equal. Speaker's choice. In most cases, we tend to use the contraction with not. We just tend to. It's not a big deal. I just think it's more common. Okay, now we're going to look at uses, and you guys are going to practice making some sentences. Before we do so, we've had some others join the class, so I'd like to welcome Julio. Hey, Julio.
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you. I have a question.
Sure.
Somebody told me that the pronunciation of they are contracted
Yeah.
and there, when you speak in regular pace, is the same. Is that true?
No. Let me get this. With they,
There,
you're talking about they, the contraction for they. Like
yeah,
this, they. So
they
you're
and contraction,
with
and
are.
there, like there are,
Yeah. Do these sound alike? Yes. They're homonyms. They sound exactly alike. They're there. In fact, when I say the sentence, they are there, it's going to sound ridiculous, Julio, because it's going to sound like they're there. Yeah, they're there. They're there
Okay.
already. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You were not misled. That is true. Okay. Let me. I almost spaced out. Okay. Let me welcome some others to the class. Hello, Dylan.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Welcome to the class. And hello to Gon. Is it Gonzalo or Gonzalez? Gon. We're
Yes,
just
yes,
going.
Gonzalo.
Gonzalo. All right.
Yes, hi.
Hi. Welcome to the class, Gonzalo.
Yes.
Okay, and I'd also like to welcome Andre.
Hi.
Hi, Andre. Hi,
Hi.
Andre.
Yeah.
My name
How
is
are you?
Olaf, and I like warm hugs. My daughter would love your avatar there.
Okay.
Very cool, brother. Brother, I love that. Uh, that's cool. Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
All right, now let's look at uses and let's get our hands dirty and let's get into this. All right, for now, right now. Okay. Before I even, present continuous, we're using it for now, but let's keep in mind throughout the class that the concept of now in English, it can mean right now, this very second as I'm speaking now, but it often has a broader meaning, a wider meaning, a vaguer meaning, I guess I could say, of the time, which includes now, I guess I could say. So keep that in mind. But we do use it to express the present continuous. We use it to express something happened at this very second. I am teaching you about present continuous tense. There we go. I am teaching. I'm doing that right now. In fact, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, right now, exactly now. This usage, by the way, is also the use when we talk about pictures, when we're looking at a photograph. Oh, the man is carrying a baby down the street. Okay, that's the picture. It's like a frozen moment in time, a photograph that we conceive to be a frozen now, really. I mean, that's how we talk about it when we describe pictures. So we use the present continuous tense if we're going to describe what's happening in a picture as if it was now. It doesn't matter that the photograph was taken 100 years ago. I would describe it by saying, the man is wearing a funny hat, like that. Okay, here's what it looks like and some basic examples. You are learning English now. Yes, you are, hopefully, right this minute. Hopefully, none of you are swimming now. You are not swimming now. And if you are, congratulations for being able to swim and take a Verbling class at the same time. That's quite awesome. I have to ask you, all of you, are you sleeping?
I hope no.
I hope not. If so, please wake up. I'm sure most of you could say right now, this very second, I am sitting. Okay, I am not standing, although I could be wrong on that. Is he sitting or standing? Okay, multiple. Now, this is interesting, actually. This is interesting. If we have and this is common to all verb tenses, we can use the same, just one auxiliary, not only just in questions as we see it here, but also in statements. We can use one auxiliary with multiple main verbs. All right? Is he sitting, standing, flying, walking, snoring, or sleeping? It doesn't matter how many. That's irrelevant. He is sitting and eating a sandwich. Like that. He is sitting and eating a sandwich. I can use multiple verbs with that one, coming off that one auxiliary. Okay, they are reading their books. They are not watching TV. They are. Julio, sorry. They're reading their books. They're reading their books. Oh, and by the way, look, there's another one. There's another there that sounds just like there. So, they are, they're possessive, there as in the where, the adverb there. So, they're all the same. They're all the same. Oh, I get it again. Okay, they are not watching television. All right, I think you get the idea. Right now, let's see if we can zip through this example and continue. Heidi?
Okay. I'm looking at the clouds floating in the sky.
La cucaracha.
Okay, this is a little bit interesting.
Está linda.
Floating in the sky. I'm not sure if you said in or on. I'm not sure, but and now this is interesting because, of course, here is your verb construction. I am looking, and then we have a prepositional phrase at the clouds. Now, floating is not part of the main verb. This is a gerund. Okay. So it is not. She's not saying I am floating. Heidi is not floating. She's only looking. So this verb floating does not work with this. This is a separate gerund. Okay, but perfect, grammatically speaking, perfect sentence. Javier, what are you doing right now? Javier?
Well, I'm listening at the verbing class.
Okay, I suspected. I am listening what?
The verbing class.
You need to have two, Javier. Listening to.
Okay.
We need to co-locate that. It's very important. I'm listening
Okay.
to
The
the
verbing
verbal
class.
Okay, well, that works. Great. I really need to add this to my vocabulary of my, because I write the word verbaling all the time. My computer doesn't understand verbaling as a word. Okay, Max, what are you doing right now?
I'm thinking.
Ooh, this is a good one. I'm thinking.
That. Okay, that. Oakley's classes are top notch.
Are what?
Top notch.
Are top notch. Where'd you learn that word? Okay. All right, good word. Top notch. Yeah, sure. Butter me up. Whatever. All right. Okay. I am thinking we have an independent clause followed by this relative clause with a simple present. Sure, that works. Cool. So we got a couple verb tenses in the sentence. Very nice. Good job. Daniel. Oh, is Daniel here? He split. I guess he split. Julio. Right now, man. What are you doing?
I'm having a cup of coffee and I'm loving it.
Ha ha. Oh, yeah, you just had to do that. Couldn't resist, right? Okay. All right. Getting ahead of us here in the lesson. So I'm going to have to explain. And I am loving it. Now, okay, you're going to hear this phrase. In fact, we can hear it at the McDonald's. I'm loving it. Silly motto. But in reality, Julio knows this. But in reality, this is not correct. You can't do this when it comes to continuous tenses. Okay, he's forcing the issue, so I'm going to have to take a look at it right now. Remember, non-continuous verbs and or mixed verbs. Non-continuous verbs are stative verbs. That is, they describe a state. For example, how something is, or how somebody feels, or an ownership. Own. Okay. If you own something, it's in a state of being owned. So I can't say I am owning a scooter. I have to say I own a scooter. I have to default back to the present simple tense. Or if you're talking like perfect continuous, you default back to perfect tense, so on and so forth. You default to the simpler tense when you have one of these non-continuous verbs or stative verbs. There are also mixed verbs. The verb to be, the verb have. Have when we use it to mean ownership. For example, I am having a heart attack. I can do it that way. That's fine. I'm having a heart attack. Call the 911. No, just kidding. Everyone relax. But I cannot say I am having a scooter. It won't work because that is a state of ownership. I cannot say she is loving this chocolate ice cream. It is not correct. I need to say she loves this chocolate ice cream. So, looking at Julio's example, grammatically speaking, not correct. I like that you used a cup to quantify your uncountable noun. So he goes out of his way to be grammatically correct in one half of the sentence, and then he goes out of his way to be incorrect in the second half. Nah. All right. It's incorrect. You will hear it. You'll hear it in song lyrics where they don't really care too much about being grammatically correct. You'll hear it in advertising. I just said it. McDonald's slogan. You'll hear it in spoken English. It's one of those things that native speakers do, but it's grammatically incorrect. Just like saying I'm having a coffee instead of I'm having a cup of coffee. It is not grammatically correct to say I'm having coffee. However, you're going to hear it. Native speakers will make it's very common for native speakers to do that, make that grammatical construction. Technically speaking, not correct. Okay, thanks, Daniel, for Julio, for helping me point that out. It's a good object lesson. Dylan, what are you doing right now?
Okay. I am speaking.
Yes, you are.
I'm speaking English.
Okay. Yes, you are. Congratulations. All right. Well, that'll get the job done. That's it. You're doing it right now. Gonzalo,
Yes,
what do you got?
example is I am reading the different examples.
I am reading different. Okay. That'll work. Straightforward. You got it. Olaf. I mean Andre.
Okay. I'm writing the text on the Microsoft Word.
What? I'm writing the text
On the Microsoft Word. Un
Wow.
logiciel.
Wow, you lost me there. I'm writing the text on.
On
Okay.
the Microsoft Word computer. Microsoft Word.
Okay. I'm writing the text on the Microsoft Word. Now, okay, because it's a name, I don't need the here. Even though it's very simple, you know, sometimes we would put articles where they are not supposed to be. I can't even understand what he's saying, which is not his fault. It's just the fact that you used an article. I thought it was a word in it anyway.
Okay.
Totally messed me up. Anyway, but this is fine. I'm writing the text on Microsoft Word, or could be with Microsoft Word. Probably a little bit more appropriate. Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
Fluid sentence. I'm having a cup of coffee. It's meaning drinking, so not ownership, I think.
No. This one's fine. Yeah, you're right. It is not ownership. No. I didn't say this is wrong. This is
Ah,
perfectly correct.
okay. Thank you.
You're right. We agree. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I totally agree with you. Um, longer actions in
And
progress now.
if I say I'm owning something, the ownership, I own something, right?
Own, yeah, O-W-N.
I'm
Own, yeah.
owning the car or pencil. How about is it okay? No.
No, it's just impossible.
Okay.
Owning is, now, see, it gets very tricky, honestly, and I don't want to get too far into that because that's a different lesson. Learning about stative versus dynamic verbs. Dynamic verbs are actions, run, walk, jump. But stative verbs, it gets tricky. It's challenging for me actually sometimes with more abstract verbs in particular to really decide, well, are they talking about a state? Some of them are easy, like, love, hate. Those are simple. All right, they're clearly describing an emotion, not an actual physical action. Some are more difficult, like think. Take think. What was the I am thinking? This is very common, but it's very weird even for me. It's hard for me to wrap my head around the idea that this is not a state, that this is being used as a dynamic verb. I have to go with it because it's extremely common. I have to say this is very normal, but even for me, that's a struggle to justify the logic. Really, it gets tough. I don't even know if I can justify the logic, really. Okay, next use, longer actions in progress now. As I noted near the beginning of the class, it can mean right this second, but it can also mean today, this month, this year, this century. This is what I was trying to explain to you. Relative, it's all relative. All right, little Einstein for you. English is all relative. If you're considering the billions of years that the universe has been around, then the century is now, relatively speaking. It's like a microsecond compared to the hour. A century is nothing compared to billions of years. So it can be conceived of as now. This use of the present continuous, talking about a process of doing a longer action, which is in the middle of progress. We might not even be doing it at this exact second. For example, look at this. Now, you might say this sentence and be grammatically correct if you are having dinner. Let's say you and I are having dinner. You may say, oh, I'm studying to be a doctor. What have you been up to lately? I'm studying to become a doctor. I am not studying to become a dentist. I'm reading the book Tom Sawyer. There's an excellent example because, of course, the idea of reading is something that you do over time. Now, I'm not reading any books right now, okay? In the question form, are you working on any special projects at work? A little redundant, but okay. Aren't you teaching at the university now? All right. We've added now a time word. We can do that to clarify that we're talking about the more general now, but it's not necessary. You may or may not choose to do so. Heidi, can you form a sentence using the more general now? Now as it's described here. It's happening, but maybe not right this second kind of now. Ready?
A long time. A long time. About something I do a long time, for a long time, you mean?
Oh yeah. Okay, you're asking me a question. Okay. Yeah. Something that takes a long time. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm doing something now. I'm trading some stocks.
Okay. Good example. Yeah. I'm trading some stocks. Okay, this is something that usually people do as an extended action over time. Sure, that's a good example. Great. Javier, what is something you're doing in progress? You're in the middle of. Javier? Are you there?
Well, I'm planning go to sleep once the class finish.
I'm planning to go
To go.
to sleep. Okay, but when the class is finished.
Yes.
Now, this is a correct sentence, but it doesn't belong here. Oh, look, it belongs in the next usage. Wait, let's move this down to the next example.
Okay.
Yes, it's correct. We do use present continuous to talk about the near future, as you can see in the diagram. Okay, something that you're going to do in the future. Absolutely. But you're not really in the process. Well, it's kind of weird. You know, I'm planning. Maybe he's in the process of planning. Okay, actually, wrap your head around that idea. It is very common that we use a verb tense and we're killing more than one bird. I mean, yeah, one bird with you're killing two birds with one stone. So is he in the process of planning it? Is that why he's saying it, or is he using it to predict the near future? You know what? Who cares? It can and will and frequently we do use verb tenses for multiple reasons. It doesn't make any difference. It's up to the speaker, the logic in the speaker's mind, and frankly the speaker won't necessarily have logicked it all out himself because it's really irrelevant. It doesn't matter as long as the information is there.
Okay.
So, all right. So actually, I'm going to leave that because it could be he's in the process of planning it. I don't know. Max.
Does it work, this verb struggle? It's possible to say I'm struggling.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. I'm struggling with English since I was born.
Now, okay, wait a minute.
Since it would be nice to say I've struggled.
Yeah, that's right. You got this sense. The sense more or less forces present perfect tense. I
Okay.
have struggled with English.
Please delete since.
Yeah, okay. Now that's fine.
All my life. My entire life.
No, even when you use the phrase "all my life," you would have to use present perfect because you're not dead yet. I am correct, right? You are living. Okay.
No, but yes, but
Excuse me.
I think I'm thinking the last year I just enjoyed. I'm enjoying it. I'm not
Right.
struggling yet.
No, look. Let's imagine you're Elvis Presley. Okay, so you're dead. If I was talking about you, I would have to say he struggled with English all his life. I'd have to use simple past, because it's over. It's a finished action. If it's you and you're living, you would have to say, I have struggled with English all my life, because you're not dead yet, and the chances are you're going to be struggling with that English tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you just want to say this, leave it how it is right here, as we can see it on the screen. I'm struggling with English. Well, that means you're in the process of it right now. So that's adequate, just how it is. You don't need to add anything else. You
Okay.
could add now if you really wanted to. You could say, I'm struggling with English now. That would be fine. Okay. Julio, what is something you're in the process of doing?
I'm not living with my parents.
Ah, I like it. Finally, a negative example. Very good. Thank you. So there it is. Yes, we can use it with not to express an idea of a continuous thing that's not happening. Perfect. Good, simple example. Thank you.
I have a question with that.
Yeah.
Um, what's the difference about I'm not living with my parents and I don't live with my parents?
Uh-huh. Okay. Let's write it down. Hang on. I do not live with my parents. Okay, obviously, is the negative of the present simple. What is the difference? I don't think it's on this worksheet. No, it's not. Oh, boy. Okay. There are 4 verbs, which I can never remember. Ah. Oh, does anybody remember this? Live, work, I think it's teach. No, not teach. Study.
Learn.
Do you remember, Max? I know I've taught this to you before. Live, work, study,
I think
learn.
learn, I guess, yeah.
I think learn as well. Okay, there's 4 verbs that you have to be aware of that we can use. Julio's question is great because he picked one of these words, and it's a very good question because it's kind of an exception. Kind of an exception. We can use present simple or present past if it's in the past tense. These 4 verbs, it doesn't matter. You can use continuous verb tense or you can use simple tense to show duration, to show that the action is taking place over time. These are exceptions. So that's why it's difficult to understand what's the difference. Well, guess what? It's because there is no difference with these 4 verbs. We can use them to express that there is duration. So actually, it's an excellent question, really.
I have a comment there. I don't know if I read or somebody told me that if you say I'm not living with my parents, well, I guess it doesn't apply with this example, but if you say, for example, I am living with my parents, you kind of the nuance there is that you are planning not to do that for a long period of time. And if you say I live with my
Currently.
parents, it's like
Ah,
indefinitely.
yeah. Okay. Nuance, connotation, sort of underlying, and that's true. And there are going to be many cases, not so much present continuous, but especially with perfect continuous tenses, there's many cases where you have an alternative to use continuous or a simple or perfect tense. You're absolutely right. There is a different connotation when you have a choice, let me try to make it simple. If you have a choice and it's appropriate to use either a continuous tense or something else, whatever it is, a perfect or a simple, if you have the choice, if you choose to use a continuous tense, then you are choosing to stress the idea of time and the verb, the duration and the verb, which, Julio, you're absolutely correct. If you're stretching that I am living with my parents, then you're stressing the verb. Okay, I'm doing it right now. You're stressing the verb, and we're using the verb to show now. So you're right. The next logical step in thinking would be, okay, he's living with his parents now. That does not imply he'll be living with his parents in a year. So you're absolutely right. You're stressing the verb. If you choose, as here, I don't live with my parents, then you're stressing the outcome or the result of the action. Okay? So, all right. So it does imply that the outcome is that he won't live with his parents continuously. You're absolutely correct with that idea, with that concept. You're right because of what you're stressing. I love to give the example of the little boy. The little boy comes home and he's all dirty and he's got cuts on his face and his hair's a mess and there seems to be something stuck in his hair. His mother's going to ask, "What have you been doing?" Because she's concerned with his continuous actions that led to his cuts and scrapes and dirty clothes and tangled hair. She wants to know what he's been doing. Okay, the very next day, crash! A window breaks in the house and a baseball comes in the window. The mother's now going to ask him, "Little Johnny, what have you done?" Because she's concerned about that broken window. So she's worried about the result. She could ask, "What have you been doing?" But it wouldn't make sense because the action is clear. There it is. We can see the result of the action of broken window, and she's going to be much more concerned with the outcome. All right? So if you're concerned with trying to think about using continuous or not continuous, that's basically, I put it to the little Johnny test. I made that up, all right? The little Johnny test. Think about it. Am I more worried with the action or with the result? Okay, right now we're worried about the action. A longer action in progress. Dylan, can you give me an example?
Okay. I'm not going to shopping tomorrow.
Wait a minute. Okay. Well, now you're predicting. You're talking about the near future. And I have to make a point here, Dylan, because
Yes.
you're using you're using to here,
Yes.
but that doesn't make sense because you're using am not going, as your main verb. So I can't have to here, Dylan. I'm not going surfing tomorrow. It's okay, but clearly you're not in the process of not going surfing tomorrow. You've used tomorrow. This puts this squarely in the category of talking about the near future. This is a correct sentence, but you're just getting a little ahead of the game. Can you give me a sentence? Something you're in the middle of doing, like you're reading a book, or you've been watching a particular series on TV, or you're working somewhere. What are you in the middle of? A longer process, Dylan?
I'm just leaving work.
Well, what?
I'm just leaving
Okay.
work.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Andre, but I was trying to get Dylan to give me one. I am just leaving work. Oh, this is a, yeah. Leaving. Oh boy, this is a tough one to decide whether to use continuous or not. I'm just leaving work. Okay, no, this is correct and very common. You're talking to somebody on the phone, and your wife calls and says, "Oh, where are you right now?" "I'm just leaving work." This is very normal sentence. So yes, that's okay. All right, and that does mean you're in the process of leaving work. Maybe you're cleaning up your desk or locking up the door or whatever you do in the process of getting ready to leave. So, yeah, in leaving work is often a series of steps we need to do before we can leave for the day. So it is appropriate and normal to do that. I wanted to hear. Thank you, Andre. I wanted to hear Dylan.
Yes.
Not about tomorrow, but a process, something you're in the process of doing.
I'm not playing piano now. Can I say?
Well, okay, but now this goes back to our first meeting, like right now.
Piano.
Okay. Yeah. Now, Dylan, you still haven't really accomplished the mission. I'm looking for something that's in process, like reading a book. You're not playing piano now is now, this very second now. And your first example, I'm not surfing tomorrow, is clearly what's happening in the future. A longer process.
Longer process.
Yeah.
I'm not studying. Not studying.
Okay. Now you're on the right track. Not studying what?
Not start. I'm not studying.
I'm gonna. I'll add my own information. Can't wait all day. I'm not in clown school now. I'm not in clown school anymore. I'm not studying to be a clown anymore. Oh, ooh, look at this. Oh, wait, that's a good one. Anymore. Okay. I'm not studying to be a clown anymore. What does this imply? Obviously, it implies that he was studying to be a clown before, but he's not doing it now. So the broader now. Okay, broader now or right now, the second now? Not sure, but it doesn't really make any difference. Anymore is very common to see used with present continuous tense. Gonzalo, what are you kind of in the process of doing?
The phrase is I'm seeing the computer now.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna have to talk about this. In the computer now. Now, we probably wouldn't say this, Gonzalo. We would probably say I am looking at the computer now. Okay? And what is the difference? See is, okay, I see a bird in the sky. Okay, bam, sudden action. I see a pencil on my desk. Okay, so we usually use see. If we're looking, then we're searching with our eyes at something. I'm looking at the computer now is very appropriate because you're searching this information as we're speaking. If you see it,
Okay, I think in this moment I seen the computer now because I seen the class.
right, right. Yes, okay, it's not incorrect. It's just really, really weird because we also use, Gonzalo, the phrase I'm seeing, okay, I am seeing Jane now. We use it to mean dating in a romantic way. So when I hear you say, Gonzalo, I'm seeing the computer now, it tells me that you have a romantic relationship with your computer. And that's lovely for you, Gonzalo, but I wouldn't be telling that to the whole class if I were you.
in this in this day, everybody love the computer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, because it does have this alternate meaning. What you said is not wrong. Okay. I'm seeing the computer now. Then that goes back to our first meeting. You mean right this second. Because we use the verb to see to mean we use it something we're using our eyes right this second. We use look to show basically what direction our head's pointed. I'm looking at the door, I'm looking out the window. Okay. I'm talking about where my head's pointed, not what my eyes are seeing. And we use watch to talk about the idea that you're seeing it, you're looking at it for an extended period of time.
It's possible
So
to say, I'm watching the computer now.
that's a little weird too, because if when you watch something, you watch a movie, you watch some birds in the tree, you're looking at them, probably waiting for watching them do actions, or it's a little odd to say I'm watching the computer. That suggests that you're waiting for the computer to do something, which your computer's not going to move. And maybe it's just a matter of co-location. I don't know if we have to get so deeply into semantics. It may be just that it's commonly co-located. You look at the computer screen, you watch a movie, you watch a TV show. You don't watch a book. All right, you look at a book. You look at a
Okay.
computer. Even though you're obviously when you're reading, you're got your eyes on the pages. Obviously, for a long period of time, you're using your eyeballs to read. But we don't say I'm watching a book. Say I'm reading a book. I'm looking at the newspaper, for example. Not I'm seeing the newspaper. I'm watching the newspaper. I'm looking at the newspaper. Okay, we've only got moments left. Near future, we've got to talk about this. You guys have given me examples, so we've already kind of looked at it. All right, here's some examples. I am meeting some friends after work. It is common, if you're going to use present continuous to talk about the near future, it is common to have some type of time phrase or time word to make it clear. I'm not going to the party tonight. Okay. Is he visiting his parents next weekend? Isn't he coming with us tonight? Again, it's a judgment call. What is near future? Why near? What is this? How near is near? Yee. Okay. It's your call. What can I tell you? It depends. If you're a vampire and you've lived for 2,000 years, I suppose that near in time for you might be 20 years from now. But most of us mortal humans, near is somewhat closer. Heidi, can you give me an example of like this? Can you give me an example of the near future?
Near future.
Sure, please.
I'm going to the supermarket after this lesson.
Okay. Whoops. Supermarket. What was the adverb used? Or
After,
what?
after.
Oh, after. Okay, yeah. Forward. Often, very common, going to places. Yes, when you plan to go to somewhere, you plan to go somewhere. Yeah. Going to is very, very commonly used this way. Javier. Yeah, here's your. Earlier you said I'm going to sleep after class.
Well,
Well, that was
I'm going to get a job after my bachelor studies.
bachelors. Gotta be careful here. Bachelor's studies. Can I do that? I think so. I think that's okay. Okay, that'll work. That's clearly in the future. All right, nice. Max, what do you got?
I'm gonna take next class.
And because he said it that way, I'm gonna use the contracted form.
Usually, I'm gonna enjoy next class.
I'm going to enjoy next class. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to take next class. You would have to use a.
There next.
Yeah. You would have to use an article.
If I said I'm going to take the next classes, it would be also possible.
Yeah. I'm going to take the next classes. Yeah, you can still use the, because you're talking about next classes as a group, as one thing, a set. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's still appropriate. Dylan.
Yes.
Okay.
He is not going to school tomorrow.
There you go. Whoops. Okay. Exactly.
Thank you.
He's not going or he isn't going would be more common in spoken language, but that is a grammatically correct sentence. Gonzalo.
We are going to visit my parents the next weekend.
Okay. Now here you don't have to say the next weekend. Okay, just
Without
next
this,
weekend.
okay.
Without the, we don't need it because it's working as a time phrase here. It's not important. And last of all, Andre. Predicting the future a bit.
I am going to play soccer Saturday night.
Yep. Okay. Notice how frequently we have going to in this usage. Well, yeah, there's a reason for the. You guys all had going to as your example, but you know what? That's okay because the fact is that's real. That happens in real life. Frequently, we use this. Now, in fact, it's basically simple future verb tense, for that matter. It is a verb tense. You guys are just using another construction of future simple. But, okay, I am playing. Instead, you could say, I am playing soccer Saturday. We are visiting my parents next weekend. He is not going to school. Well, here it's the main verb. There's no other verb. So I am taking the next class. Okay, notice what am I doing? I'm taking your simple future tenses and actually just making them present continuous instead of simple future. Heidi's is going is the main verb. So actually, I didn't even. I was concentrating on the construction. I didn't even really notice most of you guys are actually making simple future. Okay, Real quick, I have to go right now, but we often use this construction with always. She's always coming to class late. He's constantly talking with always and constantly. I don't like them because they're always complaining. This construction to show irritation or shock often happens. Something is irritating or shocking, and it's repeated action over and over again. This is a last usage, a more rare, but it is another usage of present continuous. Okay, everyone, I got to go now. Thank you. Tomorrow, same time, same place, past continuous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Bye.
Ugly.
See
Thank
you
you.
again. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all. I'll see you all again